Hello again. It is Wing Nation talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Erin, and Steve Post in the house. We've got a great show for you. Oh my gosh, we've got Lance Dewease and Jacob Allen. Woo, man. Pull up a chair, pop some popcorn. You're going to love this one, that's for sure. As I mentioned, Erin Evernham alongside. How are you?
I'm good. Very good.
Good. Last week we talked about you were headed to Amelia Island for the judging at the concours.
Yes.
You saw some historic cars. How did that all go?
It was awesome. I mean, the show they put on there, which is really like, everyone calls it the Pebble Beach of the East. The car that they get on the field are unbelievable. And I got to judge my first time.
Yeah. How'd the judging go?
It went really well. I got to judge with Beth Beretta, the owner of the IndyCar team that Simona Di Silvestro drives for. So that was really neat. I had never spent time with her before.
Nice.
So that was we got along really well. Yeah, it was neat. And luckily the class I judged there was kind of a clear winner and it wasn't so difficult.
You didn't have a whole bunch of people hacked off at you, fighting and scrapping and clawing.
So two of the people, Tom Malloy, who's a big person in the sprint car world, is a friend of ours, and another gentleman named George Lyons had another car in the class, and I'm like, oh boy, I know two of these people. This could get.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily they both got awards, like equal awards, so it was good. They weren't the winner, but they both got class awards, which was no, it was really good. I had Kate hand out the awards with me, which she thought was great. It's a fascinating show. I mean, the amount of Ferraris that are there, like race cars, and they had a great NASCAR class this year. I did mention a sprint car class. I was like, how about a sprint car class one year?
Really?
Yeah, and actually, they didn't think it was a horrible idea. They're like, that would be pretty neat.
That would be pretty cool to do that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so I'm
I like the way.
Sprint cars, Concours, a little.
Yeah, that'd be good. Maybe I'll tell you what. You know what else we could do? We could just roll in there with a stage, bring the Iowa beer bus. See, imagine the Iowa beer bus at Concours.
I feel like it would be popular.
It would be popular.
You might have people wearing their Prada and Gucci and whatnot, but
I'm sure the Iowa beer bus is used to with Prada and Gucci people. I mean, it's. That's awesome. No, that is cool. That is cool. I did. Those of you who follow along on my social, I love all forms of racing. So Saturday I was at Florence Motor Speedway, a little asphalt track. A buddy of mine runs down in Florence, South Carolina. The smart modifieds, the asphalt modifieds. Man, I loved it. Oh gosh, I had a ball. A lot of it's catching up with people and friends, and it's the reunion in motorsports. We always talk about it in sprint car racing, but I think it's actually in motorsports. The reunion goes on forever.
Yes,
and I think that's awesome. And then Sunday, I went to the place show Mama warned you about, Cherokee Speedway. I have really grown. I always liked them, but I've grown to love dirt late models.
Yeah, and
it's kind of like that division that I'm just going to kind of try to keep it where I'm fanboy. And I had a great time. Chris Smokey Madden. We've talked about Chris a number of times because he's back when Dryden was working with us on stuff. He's the Dryden driver. And old Smokey Madden. I've been down there the last 2 times I've been down there. He's won on tire strategy. He is a savvy guy. And I like strategy races. I like watching people, this one, the Blue Gray 100, he won on strategy and taking care of his tires. This one, he saved his tires better than Chris Ferguson, who blew a tire with 3 laps to go. So, but great weekend, fired up, and really has me fired up for sprint car weekends. I can't wait. I've got a couple of them lined up. I think there's an April weekend in Ohio on my future. So going up there. So fun stuff, that's for sure. We hope you got out and enjoyed your weekend with whatever you chose to do. Auto racing or elsewise. The Hepta Racing product Hot Topics, the Speed Palace opened up, and Lance Dewease, the Dream Team continues. We're going to talk to Lance, and I'm going to ask him about this, actually. 120 Port Royal wins.
You're
kind of sitting here just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then you all of a sudden realize that the all-time win leader at Port Royal is Keith Kaufman with 129, a number that for years nobody thought would ever be surpassed. And Lance is going to have to work. It's
nine wins at
Port Royal's tough, and especially when you run a part-time campaign like they do. But
you wonder, someone like Lance, is that is it a goal? I mean, it
well,
has to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at what happened at Williams Grove last year when they found themselves in August in the point lead. All of a sudden, it's like, let's change our plans.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's interesting stuff. So Lance Dewease picked up the win there. I love, and I think it was Jeremy Elliott did a really, really nice piece on it for Sprint Car Unlimited on Anthony Macri. And we love Anthony Macri, but when you look at Anthony's career, he's kind of a big half-mile guy. He's always good at Port, Selinsgrove, West Virginia Motor Speedway. He finally got a Grove win, but the short tracks, he struggled a little bit. Now, he had three Lincoln wins. But him and Jim Shuttlesworth, and I think this is where it's really good to have that driver-crew chief combination. Yeah. Him and Jim Shuttlesworth, they've been working on the short track program. They went to East Bay. They had good results, but really it was like to work on this. Yeah. Last week at Lincoln, they went from 12th to 3rd, which is good. This week he picked up the win. Yeah. 4th win at Lincoln, but he said it was the best car he's had. So I like that. I like seeing that. I like to see people advance. Carson Macedo, Cotton Bowl Speedway prior to Saturday night. 3 visits, 1 destroyed car, 2 flips in one night, 0 top 10 finishes. He changed that all around. Scored the big win on Saturday night. Yeah. Carson described that one last year. He flipped twice as one of the worst nights of his career. Yeah. Yeah, I loved his comments after the race. I did too. Out in California, I didn't have this in my notes, but I wanted to jot this down. Mitchell Facinto picked up the ride in the Tom Tarleton 21. Mm-hmm. When you pick up that ride, you better win. Well, he did. Yeah. $5,700 at Silver Dollar Speedway, and they're one that are licking their chops for what's going on with the World of Outlaws. And finally, Nick Berry picked up the win. Sprint Cars on Ice, the Lake Region's Ice Racing Club in Moulton Borough, New Hampshire. It was his back-to-back championship on the Lash Key Club. This is they sent us pictures, so we retweet them on Twitter. This is the ice racing sprint cars. Nuts, crazy, nuts. So congratulations to Nick Berry. He was the 2021 champ for the series as well. So there you have it, our Hepner Racing Product Hot Topics. Hepner Racing Products HRP wings are the original reset wing manufacturer. They use wind tunnel and track performance testing to outpace the industry in design, in innovation, and in functionality. Yep, and not only sprint cars, but lightning sprints, micros, and junior sprints. And you can have them shipped across the world and can be economically ground shipped to your door. www.hrpracing.com. That's hrpracing.com. Stay with us. Lance Dewease joins us next. Sage Fruit is a premium grower, packer, and shipper of Washington tree fruit. Apples, pears, and cherries, and it's always an exceptional eating experience, and they're grown in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. High-quality fruit, exceptional flavor, healthy snacking. Make sure when you go to your local grocery store, ask for Sage Fruit. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking.
Circle B Diecast is the new diecast outlet from Plan B Sales. What started as Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor has grown into the largest distributor of diecast and now includes Auto World Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, Sam Bass Artwork, and University of Racing lines. They have a huge inventory. The folks at Circle B Diecast love racing and support drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others with sponsorships and partnerships. And on orders over $20, use promo code MRN for free shipping. Check them out, circlebdiecast.com.
It is Wing Nation. Let's go to the Sage Fruit Hotline. The man that spent some time on the front stretch, not on the front stretch, but on the stage above the front stretch at the Speed Palace, Port Royal, picking up his 7th opening day winner. Lance Dewease joins us on the Sage Fruit Hotline. Hello, Lance. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Well, thanks for having me.
Lance, getting the season off with a win. How important is it? How good does that feel for you guys?
Well, it feels really good. You know, it's always nice to get a win early, and our first time out to get a win. With our limited schedule, we need to try to get as many wins as we can as quickly. So it was really good. We probably didn't have the best race car. I think Mike Wagner had the best race car, but sometimes traffic don't go your way, and we were good enough to get by him and hold on.
Lance, you certainly have those day shows figured out at Port. What is the surface like? I've watched them on Flow Racing in different times. It seems like it's abrasive, kind of rubbers down, but it's not like lockdown rubber. What is it like, and how do you strategize for that?
Well, Sunday was a little weird because it was was really dry, and it was had a wet, rough spots out in the middle of 1 and 2. It was and it built a curb. And actually, while I was running third, I packed the right rear wheel trying to use the curb, and it really, when you used the curb in the middle of the corner, it really shot you off and down the backstretch. If you weren't on it, it was kind of hard to get down the backstretch then because it was so slick. But it started rolling up so bad you couldn't run it right then. And I moved off it after I packed the wheel, and we got a lap traffic, and I snuck by Justin Peck and then snuck by Mikey and got to the lead and got a good rhythm going. Then we had a red, and it's I felt all right, but then they cut the curb down under the red, so I wasn't too happy about that. But no, it was a little bit more abrasive than normal on Sunday, Erin, but it still never really rubbers up and locks down. It since they reclayed this place years ago, it probably once or twice in the last 7 years it's rubbered up.
That's fascinating. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing how that goes. That's for sure. Now, Lance, you guys, and I think you had posted something about this, or I read it somewhere. Maybe Jeremy Elliott had it. You guys went and tested there on Saturday, but when you left Saturday, you guys were a little down in the dumps. What types of things? Maybe not the specifics, but what types of things did you work on overnight?
Well, we were there, and it was really slick, and that's normally what we're good at, and we just couldn't fix the race car, and they kept changing it around, and they make it a little better, and they just couldn't fix it. And Davey didn't understand it, and Donald didn't understand it. And then when we got back to the race shop that night, Donald kind of found something that was wrong with it and fixed it for the next day. Then the next day, we a lot better right from the start. I mean, we're still not where we need to be, but we were a lot better than what we were the day before, So it was a simple thing that was just wrong. So they found it.
Well, thank goodness you found it on Saturday and went and did that, because that would have ruined your Sunday. Lance, talk about getting a win in the season opener for you guys. It's certainly not your first rodeo this year or another season coming around, but how important is it to start off on a good note, just get that first win and get the ball rolling?
Well, it's always good. The morale of the team's up. Davies, I think Davies a little bit more pumped up this year than what he was last year. He just wants to go racing. I think he got bored over the winter. So it was great. It was great to get the win. Win our first time out is really good. Like I said earlier, with our limited schedule this year, we need to win them as much as we can. So to get the first one in the first race is nice, and so hopefully, this coming Sunday, we can put ourselves in position for another one if Mother Nature lets us.
There we go. Williams Grove opener this Sunday. I wanted to ask you about this, and I found the race fascinating because it was you and Mike Wagner. Someone posted about it. It was good to see the kids out playing at Port Royal up at the front of the field, you and Mike. When you have someone like Mike that you've raced with for so many times, do you kind of sense some tendencies and some things that you probably know from Mike that you may not know from like a Justin Peck that you haven't raced as much with? Are there things like that you can kind of apply as you go into a battle like that?
Yeah, and that's probably where I made a mistake during the race a little bit there. Is I really didn't realize if Mikey was still second. I should have looked over at the scoreboard, and I knew he was second, when we had the red, but after that, I didn't know he was second still, and I kind of wasn't running 1 and 2 very good, and I wasn't very good in 1 and 2, and I just really didn't know where to run down there. And if I'd known Mikey was still second late in the race, I would have changed where I was running. Compared if it was Justin Peck running second. So I kind of was blocking both lanes in 1 and 2, but just kind of run the middle a little bit, and because I really that was our corner that we weren't very good in all night, and that's normally our good corner. So we had some work to do there with that. But if I realized it was Mikey still running second, I might have moved down a little bit more, because that's where he gained ground on me, was running down lower than what I was in 1 and 2.
I was going to ask you about the lines you were running, because watching the race, when you got by those guys, you get a really good run on them on the bottom, and you come off the corner strong. But then when you got out front, you kind of ran that middle line. So I was going to ask that. So you a little bit of a blocking game?
Well, Aaron, we just weren't very good. I mean, compared to what we normally are. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't sure where to run. And, by myself, I can carry momentum. I can make mile per hour easier by myself, and I can float the middle. And I just didn't feel comfortable, especially in 1 and 2, anywhere of doing anything. Even when I ran the bottom, when I rewatched the race, I realized by rewatching it, I was better on the bottom, mm-hmm. but it didn't feel that way to me. It just mm-hmm. didn't feel like it was. I felt too slow down there, so that's why I was trying to run the middle. But one time I hit it okay. Next time I'd slide across the corner too much, and so it just was one of those deals. I just didn't feel right there, and so we had some wind going on at Port Royal, which normally we don't get affected a whole lot by the wind, but Sunday we did. So I don't know if that was doing something with the cars. It was in 3 and 4, but I don't know if it was doing something 1 and 2, and I really didn't. I knew it was in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, I really couldn't tell if that was the wind or just the car.
Mm.
You watched the race afterward, Lance. How critical, how much detail do you put into being critiquing your driving?
A lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
A lot. There's not a race I don't watch of mine. Don't mind if I win it, lose it, whatever. The only one I didn't watch was Tuscarora 50. It took me 3 months before I watched it. But all the other ones I'll watch as soon as it's available for me to watch. Flo's very good at having them up really quick to rewatch them. Dirt Vision takes a little bit longer on their stuff to replay them. But I watch them pretty quickly, and Donald will rewatch the race too, and then they'll show it to Davey if they think they see something with the car, they'll show it to Davey. Then we've been doing that for years, ever since I've been in the car. We have Flo on in the trailer. We've done that from day one when I was in the car. We'd have Flo or Dirt Vision, whoever had it on, in the trailer while we were racing. For two things, mainly to help with them guys to keep an eye on the track, but to see what's going on. But I rewatch everything.
Why did you not watch the Tuscarora 50 for 3 months?
I was still pissed off.
Uh-huh. I figured that was the answer, and I didn't really mean to pull at the scab here, but I was just, no. Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah, because I felt like, there was things I did wrong in the race at the end that might have, cost me the win. But in my mind, if we wouldn't have had our issues, if I could have just got a clean helmet on, I think that was our race and we would have won it. But it wasn't. Logan was really good. He was there to take advantage of it when we weren't as good as we needed to be, and he passed me. So I don't take nothing from nobody, but I wasn't very happy with that race, and it took me a long time to watch it.
Wow.
Interesting. You mentioned that Davey's really excited to get the season going, which I think is just so awesome. We've talked to Donald earlier this year. Talk about this season coming up. Expectations. You guys have always run so well together, but do you sit down at the beginning of the season and have specific goals? Is one of your goals to become the all-time win holder at Port Royal? Do you sit down and have goals, or do you guys just take one race at a time and try to win as many as you can?
We just take one race at a time, and when that one's over, we worry about the next one.
Yeah.
Now, we, as everybody knows, our program's built around the big shows and end of the year shows. That's what we work on. We don't really have goals. We don't sit down and talk about goals, but I think realistically we don't need to, because our goals are all the same.
Yeah. Is
to win when we're the next race we're at. If we don't win that one, we try to figure out why we didn't and improve on it for the following one. But we don't dwell on the past. We just we try to figure out and learn from it, but we don't, good or bad, we don't really, worry about it a whole lot.
So Sunday was your 120th win at the Speed Palace. We've been sitting around watching, thinking that Keith Kaufman with 129 was something that likely we would not see. And I know you're going to acknowledge you've got a lot of work to do to get there, but you're within 10 now of Keith Kaufman. Is it somewhere on your radar screen, Lance?
Well, yeah, it's on the radar screen. It was on the radar screen last year a little bit. I think Donald would like to see me get to that mark. I don't know. I mean, I have a hard time believing we could do it this year.
Yeah.
Just because we race enough races there, but we'd have to win a lot of them. I'm a realist. It's hard to win. We do pretty good at winning, around 30% to 33% of our races a year. So, to do that and get 9 more, I probably need to get into the 60-70% range of winning. So, and that's very hard, and that's, not impossible, but realistic that it don't happen. Yeah. I mean, there's just too many good cars, and, all the races we run there are, the better paying shows, the bigger shows, which have better fields yet. So, it's a number, just like the Grove 100. But until we get a lot closer to me, that's what it is. It's just a number.
I do like how you said that you don't have goals, but you like to win 30. You usually win 30 to 33%, and you're hoping to win. It'd be nice to win 60 to 60%. I love that. You don't really have goals, but in the back of your mind, you have expectations.
Well, yeah, we have expectations. I mean, if we run 30-some shows and we win 4 shows this year, we would be very upset. Yeah, probably. If we run 30-some shows and win 12, we're going to be pretty happy. You know what I mean? Yeah. We've averaged 9 to 10 a year, roughly. So, for our limited schedule, it's pretty good. And, we have goals. Our goals is just be as competitive as we can and try to win races. I've tell everybody this before. You can have the best race car in the world and not win the race. Mm-hmm. You can have a 5th place car and put yourself in the right position and win the race. Sunday's a perfect example. I think Mike Wagner by far had the best race car there all day long. Ran second. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's part of racing. You see it in the Cup Series. You see it in all types of racing. Yeah. I mean, not necessarily fastest race car wins the races. So it's all about putting yourself in position and taking advantage of it when you're there.
Mm-hmm. Well, absolutely. You did it, and you got the win on Sunday, and we're off and running here on the 2022 season. Lance, I know we'll talk to you down the road for sure, but thanks for the time today, and we wish you the best on Sunday at Williams Grove for their opener.
Well, hopefully Mother Nature, they're calling for snow tomorrow up here now. So we went from 70s on Sunday to snow on Wednesday and Thursday. So hopefully we don't get it, and the weatherman's not right a lot. So hopefully he's wrong again, and we get to race on Sunday.
Guy needs to be wrong this time. When you need him to be wrong, he needs to be wrong. There you go. Lance, thank you. You got it. Thanks, bud.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you are a young racer, if you are a middle-aged racer, and I don't mean middle-aged age-wise, if you've been doing it for a few years, or you are a veteran racer, if you are not taking the approach that Lance Dewease is taking, that's why he's whooping your butt.
Yeah.
I mean, from the analyzing the car in the test session and going back and breaking it down, to watching video of yourself, to knowing that we win 30% of our races. Yeah. I mean, just
to making sure you're watching Flow or Dirt Vision or whatever streaming.
Yep. Absolutely.
During
unreal.
The race.
It really is cool. I mean, it's just unreal. I love chatting with him and listening to him, the way he breaks things down.
Yes.
And how terrible they were on Sunday at Port Royal.
Yeah, really.
I mean, no.
Yeah, we were. I didn't know where to run. I'm like,
Yeah,
certainly didn't look like that.
Didn't look like it, yeah. Race fans, you're probably tired of car insurance ads with like talking animals or whatever. At Root Insurance, they do car insurance differently. Their app gives you smarter rates where your actual driving is the number one factor. Good drivers end up saving money, big money, up to $900 a year, and that's not too shabby. Maybe you'll miss the talking critters, but Root Insurance doesn't need a mascot to save you money. Root, for good drivers. Over 1.5 million drivers insured. Download the Root app today. We need to step away. When we come back, Jacob Allen joins us.
Just like racing components, Aggressive Hydraulics purpose-builds hydraulic cylinders to perform for customer-specific applications. They design and manufacture mobile-style, single-stage cylinders as well as multi-stage telescopic cylinders. It's a no one-size-fits-all approach with Aggressive Hydraulics. Hydraulic solutions for virtually every industry that uses hydraulic cylinders. They proudly design and manufacture all cylinders in the United States. Check out the video of their story at aggressivehydraulics.com.
Sage Fruit is a premium grower, packer, and shipper of Washington tree fruit. Apples, pears, and cherries, and it's always an exceptional eating experience, and they're grown in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. High-quality fruit, exceptional flavor, healthy snacking. Make sure when you go to your local grocery store, ask for Sage Fruit. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking. Continuing on here, let's go right back to the Sage Fruit Hotline. Joining us from somewhere between here and there.
In the desert.
The World of Outlaw stars are headed west. And Ashley and I talked to Sheldon yesterday. He was going through Border Patrol and Vado, New Mexico. Let's go back to the hotline, the Sage Fruit Hotline, and find out where in the world Jacob Allen is. Hello, Jacob. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
All right. So where are you at and what are you doing? I already know a little bit of the answer here. Where are you at and what are you doing?
I'm just a little bit west of Needles, California. Just stopped at this little truck stop to fill up with some fuel. Pulled over here on the side of the road. Me and Hannah are making some burritos for some breakfast, and then we're going to head on our way to Visalia.
Very nice. So, Jacob, the season's been off to a strong start. Quick time Friday night. You got a top 5 in the season. What are your thoughts on how things are going so far?
I think they're going, pretty good. I mean, I think there's some good speed. I just think in the feature time, I'd like to be right there a little bit better. I think I've had legitimate shots to win pretty much almost, or be in a position to win almost every night so far this year. And the biggest thing is just capitalize on those good starting spots and win these races. So I haven't, I'm proud of how it's going, but I'm also not proud that I've been in the positions that I have been, and I haven't been able to pick off a win or get on the podium.
5 races, 4 qualifying efforts inside the top 6. Is that something, Jacob, that you have spent time working on over the course of your career?
I don't know, man. I just think that, in my position, like a personal position, like how I came about being on the World of Outlaw Tour, just takes some time, it takes time to understand how World of Outlaw racing goes and the lifestyle of being on the road. And, it just takes a lot of maturing. And, I didn't come into World of Outlaw racing with tons of funds and, the team aspect of it with the cars and the motors and stuff that wasn't all built up. And then, the lifestyle part of it is a whole other side of it. We had things of breaking down toters and just all kinds of different stuff that, just makes it a little bit stressful. So I think, at 27, I think I'm starting to feel like the pieces to my personal puzzle are coming together. And, I just, hopefully that reflects on my racing all throughout the year.
So you're 27, and I think I read that this is your 9th full season. That's pretty incredible. You're still really young with a lot of years ahead of you. Are you content with where you're at as far as your career? I know, like you just said, that you're learning, and of course, every race car driver wants to say, no, I wish I had won a gazillion races by now. But overall, you sound like you're content and happy with the direction you're headed in.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I feel happy with where I'm at mentally on where I'm heading, and I think that confidence should take me a long way, and I have a lot of high expectations for myself. I'm not super proud of like a lot of my statistics or results or things like that throughout those 9 years. But I think that's just because I have expectations for myself, and I just think it just takes a lot of time. I don't think that me personally just could have gone in the world of outlaw racing and be this superstar right off the bat. I mean, I just didn't really grow up at the racetrack, and I just grew up very differently than a lot of people I race with on this level. So, I think it's great that I have all those years on the road and I'm young, and I think that there's a lot of promising things for me this season.
I agree. I agree. The numbers are certainly looking up, and the experience is going to help you pay dividends. I want to go off the racetrack. One of the things you and I've chatted about a couple of times. What are you doing fitness wise? What's your routine like now? What's caught your interest here? How you keeping in shape?
I do a few different things. I don't know how many race car drivers listen to this stuff, so I don't like to go too crazy about it. But I definitely have a nice fitness program that I think work on certain techniques that you use when you're racing the cars. I think breathing is a huge part of your racing. And there's a lot of like forearm, strength that's involved. When you're racing, you can have forearm pump, and it's a sprint car race, so there's a lot of high intensity, and it's very quick. So that's where I think the breathing comes into play. I've ran miles and miles or whatever, and I've noticed, after a heat race that could only last maybe 2 minutes top. They ask you to do an interview afterwards, and you catch yourself out of breath, which is almost like embarrassing because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm out of breath after only, 10 laps. So I think that there's a breathing technique to all that. So I work on all that stuff, and I feel really good. I feel, every race so far this year in the car, I feel super comfortable, and I think the things that I'm doing off the track are paying off.
Are you doing some sort of like high intensity interval training, something that gets your heart rate up and down to work on your breathing? And I think I saw you doing some like fun mountain biking or BMX biking. I don't really know what it was, but it looked like that certainly would help with, you're talking about forearm and breathing.
Yeah, I was just reading some books like on some athletes and that do high or like extreme sports, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And I was reading about like their nutrition programs and how they rest and how they recover, how they prepare for a big day of racing. And I think that's something that's, in sprint car racing, there's not like research or things on us drivers, and a lot of sports, there's research on all kinds of different things. So you have a day, where you wake up fairly early, let's say like 9, 10 o'clock, and you can be in your prime racing time is at like 6 to 10 o'clock, let's say. Well, you have to be up and feeling good during those hours, and I think that is a big part of your performance. So I just look at, it's nothing crazy as far as training. I just train probably very basic, whatever makes me happy. I could do anything. I could run, I could go for a hike or ride my bike or whatever, just something to kind of do some, it's like, I call it like maintenance. And then I think, your recovery on on getting enough sleep, eating the right kind of foods to fuel your body for, big days of racing or long days of working. And I think that all comes into play on your performance.
Mm-hmm.
You sound, okay, I'm going to this is personal to me, okay? I've had visits with Richard Marshall. And of course, Richard Marshall, Priority Aviation, and he got me onto these Whoop bands. I'm telling you, and it assesses my sleep is the first thing. And I thought I was doing good, and I was a disaster on it. And now we're working on stress and recovery and everything like that. But it's amazing out there. Do you have tools like that you use to kind of help you assess it?
No, I don't have any tools. A lot of people really who know me, I'm terrible at like keeping my phone charged and just all that kind of stuff. I just have had a lot of fun in the last year, or like I have a goal to like read a book every month kind of thing. And I've been reading a lot of books on like nutrition and things like that. And I just try to take mental note of how I'm feeling personally, not always be on like this, I got to be up at 5 and I have to be at the gym at this time and then I have to eat at this time and, all that stuff. I just go off of how I'm feeling and then I also plan around what kind of day I'm having. So like today, I'm just driving. I'm not doing anything, extraordinary. I'm just driving my motorhome. So I'm probably just going to take it easy, eat light, easy to go to sleep and get good rest, etc. Now, Friday and Saturday, I'm going to have 2 big days of racing. So I'm probably going to eat a lot more. I'm probably not going to walk all over the racetrack or like walk from the pits to the concession stand or whatever. I'm probably going to ride my 4-wheeler to save my energy and do things like that. That way I can keep well rested and eat foods that keep me feeling good and strong throughout the night so I can perform well on the racetrack.
Makes a lot of sense.
That is inspiring.
Yeah.
That really is. I love your commitment to this. I really do. That's fascinating. That's fantastic.
You mentioned that you and Hannah were making some burritos in the motorhome. Is that something that's really helped you with nutrition, is having the motorhome? I know when I ran the tour a million years ago, I think, eating was a hard thing to do. You're eating concession stand food or you're eating fast food at a truck stop. It was really hard to keep track of your nutrition. Has the motorhome helped that?
Yeah, the motorhome definitely helps that. Mm-hmm. It's a home on wheels, so you definitely can utilize different, it definitely helps for sure. But, on a day like today where you're traveling and you don't have a lot of time and it's a big distance, to your destination, you just kind of want to get to your destination. Yeah. So, like, yesterday there was a Burger King in the truck stop and I was feeling pretty hungry. So what the heck, I go in there and I get a Whopper and I call it a day. You know what I mean? So I do that stuff. I eat quick and go. But then when I'm going to be set put at wherever in Visalia for probably most of the time in California, I'll probably eat the way I would prefer to eat. And now it's where the motorhome becomes nice because you can cook on the stove or you have like a little toaster oven to bake stuff and then, your microwave. So you have all your tools, to eat the way you would like.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. So I absolutely love your passion for the details of your life, the book a month, and I actually reading is something, and I actually talked to NASCAR driver Eric Jones. He does a reading initiative, and I'm not as aggressive as you. I'm doing a book a quarter, 1 book every 3 months, and so but I love that and I respect it, and can't wait to see what you have out in California this weekend and on throughout, Jacob. We appreciate you taking some time, and we'll let you get back on the road. And thanks for joining us, though, here on Wing Nation.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully the next time I talk to you, we're talking about me winning. So that's the goal, man.
That's right. We'll do that. We'll dial you up right after that happens. Sounds good.
Sounds good, man.
Thanks,
you, guys.
Jacob.
Safe travels.
Absolutely. 2 totally different styles with Lance and Jacob. Obviously, 2 totally different generations, 2 totally different backgrounds, 2 totally different everything. But the attention to detail is very similar. with everything, and with Lance we talked a lot about the car, but with Jacob we talked a lot about his body.
Yeah.
And what he does.
And you have someone, we didn't talk to Lance at all about fitness, but you have Lance who's giving you all these statistics and numbers, and Jacob's not. It's how I feel. I don't even have my phone charged half the time.
Right.
Really neat to hear.
I love, I mean, we all, I mean, I think there's a tweet like everyone loves Jacob. You see that tweet all the time. I mean, it's like, who doesn't love Jacob Allen? And it's his passion for it is unreal. And he's talked to me a lot about, fitness, not a lot, but occasionally we've talked about the running and the stuff that I'm doing. And he always says, I want to go run with you. I said, dude, you ain't going to run with me. You're going to run way ahead of me. And then you're going to be well rested. You'll be able to have a Whopper and a fries.
Your time's been improving. I see your social media posts.
I've been working on it. But I'm not Jacob.
Ago when we did the 5K, and I see your time's improving.
But I'm not Jacob or one of these racers, though. That's for sure. Nor will I ever be. But great stuff. Always love catching up with Jacob Allen. Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment. Circle B Diecast is the new diecast outlet from Plan B Sales. What started as a Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor has grown into the largest distributor of diecast and now includes Auto World, Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, Sam Bass Artwork, and University of Racing lines. They have a huge inventory. The folks at Circle B Diecast love racing, and they support drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others with sponsorships and partnerships. On orders of $20 or more, use promo code MRN for free shipping. You can check them out at www.circlebdiecast.com.
Aggressive Hydraulics provides solutions for virtually every industry that uses hydraulic cylinders. For instance, agriculture, construction, defense, emergency services, energy, food processing, forestry, marine, mining, railway, and even truck equipment. They design and manufacture mobile-style single-stage cylinders as well as multi-stage telescopic cylinders. It's a no one-size-fits-all approach with Aggressive Hydraulics. Check out their story at aggressivehydraulics.com.
Yes, indeed. We love that you have joined us here on Wing Nation. We love that Lance Dewease and Jacob Allen have joined us on Wing Nation. Man, I'll tell you what, I love talking to our guys and gals.
Yeah.
I love talking to our racers because they're just such interesting people.
Yeah, those are two you could talk to for a long
time. Exactly. And then we tune in the weekend, whether it's Dirt Vision or Flow, and we get to watch them do their thing. And, I just love the details we get when we get a chance to talk to guys like that. Also love the details at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. Birthdays, later this week, Ben Krasner, Rex Mays, Troy Ruttman, Johnny Rutherford, Al Gordon, William Windy McDonald, the old voice of Manzanita. Yesterday would have been the birthday of M.A. Brown, born in Hulka, Mississippi. He is a 2019 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. M.A. Brown, a friendship led him to racing, and he bought his first car, a jalopy, to race in Tupelo, Mississippi for $12.50.
A jalopy in Tupelo.
A jalopy in Tupelo. I can't even say that. If it was a jalopy in Sapulpa, then it would be even better yet.
Yes.
I was just thinking about that. Jacob had said he'd stopped and bought gas. He's probably paying much for about 2 gallons of gas as that jalopy cost.
You're not kidding.
M.A. Brown. After World War II, he was worked at a sawmill and then started his own trucking business. Now, here's where this gets interesting. 1959, he moved to McKinsey, Tennessee. Now, we all know someone who's in McKinsey, Tennessee.
We sure do.
And he bought his first open-wheel car. It was a Les Hill-built car. Hill-built is what they were called. But Les Hill had a young guy by the name of Jack Elam working on race cars.
Yepper.
Of J&J chassis. Mm-hmm. And, that car, though, in 1959 was undefeated with Leonard Mann driving the car. That was a little better win percentage than Lance Dewease has at Milam Speedway. Other drivers that M.A. Brown had wheeling his cars, Chuck Amati, Bubby Jones, Sammy Swindell, Ricky Hood, Bobby Ward, and Chuck Gurney. Pretty good list right there.
Stout list,
and he maintained a lifelong relationship with Jack Elam, J&J Chassis. Mm-hmm. So fun stuff. M.A. passed away in 2010, but he is forever enshrined from turn number 2 at one Sprint Car Place at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, where they have ongoing their Triple X chassis Moyle Racing Engines 410 raffle, Aaron.
Yep, it's the 14th raffle car, and all the proceeds go to the Hall of Fame. It's $20 per ticket or $6 for $100. So it's biannually. So the drawing is actually this coming December. Go to www.sprintcarhof.com for more information.
As fired up as I am about what we've had on the show and what we saw last weekend, I'm more fired up about this coming weekend. 3 weekend stress in California. This week they're at Tulare. I'm just anxious to see what the score is.
Yep.
I think it was Dominic a couple weeks ago, or Shane Golobic.
Yep.
Somebody said, I think we can be competitive, and I think you take a Justin Sanders at Ocean, you take this guy here, that guy here, Mitchell Facinto, and that Tarleton car is going to be good no matter where they go. Dom's going to be good no matter where they go.
Those Kadings.
DJ Neto. They're throwing a lot of bullets at the Outlaws. And I just think this gets really, really good. Now, I hope I'm going to be West Coast this weekend. I'm going to Phoenix.
Ah, you're going to be on the right time.
So I'll be on the right time. Oh, I'll even get to stay up and watch it.
I'm going to have to drink some.
Oh, and then this is the week. Yes, and then this is the weekend we spring forward. Except for in Phoenix, they don't spring forward. My gosh, this is So, but that's all right. We do that Saturday night after the World of Outlaws are done. Pennsylvania, all 3 of the main state tracks are up and running. Saturday, it's Lincoln and Port Royal, and Sunday, as Lance mentioned, the Williams Grove season opener.
If it doesn't snow.
Exactly. So, going to be a big, big weekend. And then, if I'm not mistaken, next weekend Attica opens.
Oh,
I think that's next weekend.
Ohio
So I think Rex is shoveling the snow off from
like
the grandstand.
He's a little behind right now, yeah.
It's like, so it's going to be great. That is for sure. Hey, you can follow along with us on social media all along the way on all of our platforms. On Twitter, on Facebook, we have a page and a group, and our YouTube page has many, many, many of these, plus old interviews that we've done over the course of time. We've been doing this now. This is our 11th year. Yes. There's a lot of folks we've chatted with. So if you're binging, binge on Wing Nation. Yes, indeed. Coming up on Thursday, we have got a continuation of our podcast series, so we hope that you check that out. Each week, we do a brand new podcast, whether it's Erin, whether it's Ashley, or whether it's yours truly. We've got those. We've also got those archived as well. And then coming up this weekend, Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on our television programs, on Rev in Canada Wednesday night, and Mav TV on Saturday morning. Sheldon Haudenschild joins us. Great visit, Ashley, and I had with Sheldon.
Off to a good start this season.
Yes, he is. 2 times win in 5 races. Yeah. That's a 40% winning percentage.
Yeah, look at that, Lance.
Sheldon's got a 40% winning percentage. So that is coming up this weekend. Sheldon Haudenschild joins us. Again, we appreciate Lance Dewease and Jacob Allen for joining us. More important, though, than all of that, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation.